April 30th, 1975. What does that date mean to you? For many in our Vietnamese community living in the diaspora, it's ngày 30 tháng 4, ngày Quốc hận, or ngày mất nước, the day that we lost our homeland. Black April, or Tháng Tư Đen, marks the beginning of the end, when millions of people fled political persecution to find freedom overseas as refugees. On April 30th, 2026, we will commemorate this fateful day at the Rotary Summit Center at San Jose City Hall. The theme for our program this year is Futures After 50, Finding Freedom, to honor the connection between the sacrifices for freedom to 51 years of Vietnamese America and counting. After the Fall of Saigon on April 30th, 1975, families from the Republic of Vietnam were stripped of their freedoms and subject to discrimination under totalitarian communist rule as second-class citizens. Countless people were sent to re-education camps, detained for years to perform hard labor under harsh and uncertain conditions, and forcibly relocated to new economic zones that limited their opportunities for education, employment, and a political voice. In search of freedom, our families were forced to make impossible choices for our futures. Nearly 2 million of our parents, grandparents, and ancestors made the impossible possible, taking everything and everyone they could to risk everything they had to escape their homeland by air, land, and sea. Vượt biển. They became refugees and boat people in the face of hunger, pirates, and death, with nearly 500,000 people perishing at sea, never to be seen by their family or friends again. The ones who survived these perilous journeys across the ocean found themselves in refugee camps in Malaysia, Indonesia, Hong Kong, and the Philippines before they were scattered across the diaspora and resettled in Australia, France, Germany, and in the United States, in places like Westminster, Houston, New Orleans, and here in San Jose. In 2026, we have survived for 51 years since April 30th, 1975. Our elders rebuilt their lives in little Saigons rooted in the values of the homeland we left behind. For our generation, the promise of freedom isn't enough because we were taught that freedom isn't free and that we were never meant to just survive in our new homelands, but to have the opportunity to thrive. For us, finding freedom is an ongoing fight for our future and a constant reminder of our refugee roots and resiliency. Although the war ended in 1975, its memory shapes our experiences and identities as Vietnamese Americans today. We at the Vietnamese American Roundtable are committed to working towards building a better quality of life for all. The past 51 years have shown us the obstacles to the freedom that our parents fled Vietnam for, and how our community turned those obstacles into milestones of mobilization, activism, and advocacy. Like how many of our elders have never forgotten how families were fractured when their neighbors were taken away to re-education camps without due process in the middle of the night, we've seen firsthand how the actions of ICE to detain and deport our community members threaten the freedoms and our futures that our families escaped Vietnam for in the first place. For us, to stay silent when our freedoms are threatened is to dishonor their struggles and disgrace their sacrifices. We hope that you and your families will join us on April 30th, 2026 at the Rotary Summit Center at the San Jose City Hall to remember and reflect on our futures after 50 and our fight for freedom. Doors will open at 4:30, featuring educational and interactive exhibits, highlighting our journeys and a stage program that features performances that will honor and pay homage to Vietnamese America. You can RSVP or learn more about the Black April commemoration and the work that we do at the Vietnamese American Roundtable, or VAR, at varoundtable.org/blackapril. We hope to see you there.